Alright. I wonder if this is working or not. New streaming app that I hope is working. Are we even live? That's weird. Oh, there it is. How's the quality look? That looks decent. Let's try this. Let's test the bit rate. Test the bit rate. That's not looking too... There's no way there's a watermark on there. Are you kidding me? No. Hold up. What is this? Screensaver? Okay. Can the watermark not be on there? That's a lot of tabs. Okay. Going over some things. Hello to the person in chat. I'm going to boost my microphone volume. Testing, testing. Okay, I'm going to turn down the device audio now. Testing, testing. Okay. I see you got a new locomotive. That's nice. Now we are going to attempt to do this. Today we are going to be... I'm going to do this live stream in parts because it's getting a little bit late in the day. Today we are going to test, or not test, we are going to run the Wispanatche, Maine, and Southeastern live. We are going to first... What was I about to say? Here we are at New Vineyard. It looks very nothingness right now, but that's because this area isn't finished yet. It will become finished by the time this is released, and I will be releasing this route when I am done with the stream. Currently, I am trying to test volume and audio still. That quality isn't too bad. I'm testing the FPS real quick. That watermark is going to get annoying. Anyway. Here we are. We are going to... trying to decide. We are going to hook up to our train here. And last time it crashed while we were wiring the locomotive, so I just decided why not skip that step. Testing, testing. Just to see if I can be heard over the whistle. Testing, testing. Yeah, I can definitely be. That's fine. Alright, now let's go ahead and go. We are using my favorite locomotive here, the CCLE 282, otherwise known as the ATSF 3160 class. It is my favorite locomotive, and just the standard power for this railroad. We're going to hook up to our train here. I also figured out a while ago, but I did figure out you can put flags and markers on the locomotive. We need to hit the brakes because we way overshot that switch. Come on. There we go. Now we're going to back into this first track. And we got to make sure not to couple too hard, because I had a setting on to where if I do couple too hard, it's going to break the couplers. It's raining. I don't really want that. So I am going to turn that down some. And hopefully I do not hit this too hard. About 4 miles an hour is good. And good hitch, knuckled in. Now we're going to pull forward. So the route I got planned for us today is we're going to first get out of this yard, and then after that we are going to run all the way to the east end of the railroad, and then we are going to go to the west end. It is a long route, as you can see here. There's a grade on one side, and where we're going to the other side, there's logging. Now I just need to pull ahead. I'm probably on the wrong track going outward. Let's see if I can stop before that switch and change it. Probably not. Yeah, I'm probably not. Oh no, we're going the right way. Never mind. I need to get some water. Oh, we're going backwards. I need to get some water in the boiler because that's needed. Come on. There we go. And one thing that I kind of wish they added in trains was some log cars that are American, because if you look right here, there's a Lincoln pin connection. Or not Lincoln pin, there's a European connection connecting to the American knuckle coupler, and it's not very realistic, but it's fine. Thank you for saying you like my route. I will be posting this route once I am done showing it off. And of course, after some modifications. It looks a lot nicer in other areas than it does right here. Three short whistles for going backwards. And now we're going to gently knuckle into this caboose. So we're going to do a log run from the east end to the west end. There's a logging camp on the east end, and then we're going to take it all the way up to a sawmill on the west end, up the Wispanatche grade. And did we just knuckle in, or are we knuckled in? Oh no, yeah, we are. I don't know if I have that locomotive yet, but I do have a lot of locomotives, but that was on another account, and I only have a couple locomotives on this one. I will see if I will get it eventually. I probably will once I make more routes. They're going to require more power. Anyway, we are now all knuckled in. Water's being put in the boiler using the gun, aka the injector, aka the valve that puts water in the boiler. And we are at New Vineyard Station in New Vineyard, New Hampshire. The way I tried to make this route is was make it so the distance is real, aka I wanted to make it 1-to-1 scale, but because of some scaling issues, it was not correct when it was supposed to be 200 miles, and that's not it. It was actually supposed to be 2,000, Maine to Florida, but when I got to where I thought was 200 miles, and it's actually only 75 because I did some scaling wrong. And now that's what's making me end this route, because after that there's no point, though I will be remaking this route in Trains 2022. But for now, I am doing this. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and highball. Oh wait, we need to set our switches. Or I need to set my switches. Do that, and now the signal should turn green. Something isn't lined. There we go. Alright. Now it's time to highball. I love this locomotive. It's just my favorite in game. I'm not dragging all the cabooses, right? No, I'm not. You've got the ringing bell, a nice sound set, a good whistle. You've got, if you look at the brakes right here, if I apply brakes, you can see the brake shoes actually pressing up against the wheel. It's also really the most detailed in my opinion. And I think a Mikado is my favorite, the 282 wheel arrangement. And we've got a tender light, which I'm not using right now because we are doing it. And I am speeding on my own route. Look at that. Anyway. It's good to see that this live streaming app is working, even though it does have that watermark every once in a while, because the previous one I was using, Streamlabs, was not working, really. Anyway, we are on our way. Once we get out of the yard here, I'm gonna go ahead and open her up. If you want, you could get this train. It's very good, and it's actually pretty decent in power too. I also have this passenger car, the Pullman Standard, which if I go inside, you can see a pink roof, but you can, in fact, go inside this passenger car, which is pretty neat. I seem to have clicked on the switch, which is interesting. Anyway. Now that we are out of the yard, I'm going to go ahead and highball and watch signal change. Alright, I feel like that bell is enough now. I see the chat. Oh, and if you hear any background noise, it's because I live in a family of 6, technically 7, 6 plus a dog, and that's what background noise comes from. As you can see here, we are out on the nothingness at the moment, and it's about to get even more nothingness, but that'll all change before the route is finished. We're going to speed over, and we're going to get to prettier scenery, just a taste of what the scenery looks like up ahead. Give me a second. Hold on, I can go faster like this. Look at this. So the scenery does get much better. It's just that I haven't made it to this area yet. What's our water looking like? We can put some more in there. Look at those drivers spinning around. Alright. We are officially out on the nothingness at the moment. So the route still is long, and of course the route will become detailed at some point. There's another thing. You can see the tender of the CCLE shaking right here because that's simulating water inside of it. So we are currently almost at track speed. Let's do a little bit of, let's get a pass here, shall we? You can see it in the distance over there. All in all, a really nice locomotive. We are speeding a little bit, but I don't think it really matters. I need to up the speed limit for this section of track anyway. I should probably put some more coal, or oil actually, in, because this is an oil burner. I'm gonna put some more oil in, or I guess inject more oil in. Another thing I like about this locomotive compared to others is if I go into the cab, it's not the same cab as all of the others. I still don't know if it's the correct cab for this locomotive, but at least it's not the standard cab. I think once I remake this route on Trains 2022, I'm gonna still have this locomotive on it, except it'll be properly lettered for the WM and SE. I see. I have the chat open at the moment, actually. It's just on a separate device. Welcome our other viewer. If you look, you will see nothingness at the moment, but that doesn't mean it's a boring route, it's just an incomplete area. Actually, we are coming up to something on the route right now. What just happened to stream? Oh, it's back. What is going on? Hello? Stream? Hold up a minute. Stream seems to be lagging. Is it better? Is stream lagging? I think it's better, right? I don't see the loading screen anymore. It is lagging far behind at the moment, though. Maybe it'll catch up. Alright, it's good. As I was saying before, I thought it was lagging. You can see right here we are coming up to a gap. Over this gap is a giant bridge. You might actually be able to see. I need to put some more water in this thing. We got a green signal right there. Alright, if you look ahead, you might be able to see. Yeah, you can start seeing some hills right there. No more flat nothingness. So, I'm gonna do this stream in parts because it's getting a bit late in the day. So once we get to the logging camp, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, and then once I will find another day, we're gonna load up, and then we'll go ahead and wait, that's not right. On another day, I will load up everything, and what am I saying? I'm going to turn the stream back on. I'm going to load and then run to the east end of the railroad, and then y'all will have seen the entire railroad. We are speeding a bit, so we're just going to ease off the throttle there. And right here you can see it, the bridge. And we're back to green grass. So here we are at the bridge. We have a gantry signal right above it. And I see another watermark. It's probably fine. There's that turning red, and we have a great divide. Not the great divide, but a great divide. Come on, let's see if we can look right here. Let's ride in the passenger car, shall we? We can start accelerating again. Soon before I post this route, I will probably be putting a bit of trees in here. Or maybe after I'm done with the live streaming, I will post an update, like a last kind of update on those parts that I've changed. And then I will post the route. And now you can see we've got a little bit of a different color of grass here. Gonna get the bar back a bit. What's our water at? Our water's looking better. You can see all the rods moving fast. The valve gear. Alright, there you see. Why is there just one hill right there? Gotta make more. Anyway, we are coming up on. Where was it again? Newport, Maine. I see a bit more hills now. Gonna put a bit more water in there. Also, if you look in here, I can see how much water I have left in the tender. And I can even... I don't know if there's any other locomotive in the game that has a cab view on the tender. This is probably a very dangerous place to stand, but... or sit, rather, but it's fine. But as I was saying, if you look right in here, I can see how much water we have left. You can see the tender sloshing, or the tender, English. You can see the tender moving because the water's sloshing inside of it. Alright, you can start to see a bit more hills here, which will soon turn into mountains. I'm gonna get our fire up a bit. Or our coal level, quote unquote, even though this is an oil burner. Now we're in kind of a valley a bit. Alright. We are on the turn. Yeah, we are turning into Newport, Maine. There's a lake off to the side here. And I say it again. I said it once, I'll say it again. I'm gonna finish detailing this before I put it. This will probably all be filled with trees and stuff to make it look all pretty. And this is supposed to be based in the fall too, so there'll be lots of colors as well. There's gonna be lots of colors once we get up to this curve here. I think I see it right there. Oh, right there. A bit of a mountain. There you can see it, the slightest bit of trees. And once we get up here, the speed limit isn't going to be 60, it's going to be something slower. There it is. We have arrived at Newport, Maine. What is the speed limit again? Speed limit is... Wait, where's the speed limit? It's probably fine. It's just dirt. Anyway, the speed limit's 35, and we got even another locomotive right here. But as you can see, there's a lot more trees. We have now entered the scenery in this area. Alright, we can start slowing down a bit. I saw up ahead there's a bit of land on the tracks. It's probably fine though, because the tracks are still there. I'll fix that later. Oh, there's a... Okay, I just got sloppy there. Call for station stop. We are not stopping, so I blew 2 other shorts. And just to make sure we are lined incorrectly, we have that right there. There we go. Yep, we are lined correctly. It's a neat shot. Alright, it's time to begin slowing down a bit because we got that speed limit of 35 because we're coming into a bit of a turn. That should be enough. I just realized the bar is all the way in the corner. Alright, just slow down with the independent, it's fine. There's that little bit of terrain on the tracks, it's still fine. Look, it's Polar Express, but there's no ice and it's just grass. There you can see the mountains all the way over there. And there's some mountains right here as well. And there's the locomotive that comes with the game by default, the mountain. There's a grade crossing up here too. We are passing Newport, Maine at the moment. When I first got this locomotive, I was kind of surprised to see the size comparison between the two. As you can see right there. Oh, we should probably slow down a bit. It's a bit of a tight curve. No, it's really tight. It's fine. Alright, grade crossing. And because we're not going over there at the moment, I'll show you what is over here. Over here is a harbor, kind of, with a yard and 2 diesels to switch it. And you can see there's 2 boats here as well. And there's 1 train in the yard right here, which is a special kind of train. It's the longest train I've ever pulled using the CCLE Mikado. If I remember correctly, I think it was 2101. It could have been 2100 or 2102 as the sister engines to this locomotive. But as you can see, we're going through the wilderness a bit here. There's a tree on the too close to the tracks. It's fine. We are headed into the mountains here. Once we get up here, there's gonna start being a grade, a little bit of a climb up to the logging camp. Let's see how the scenery looks in the passenger car. Yeah, that looks a lot nicer than gray and orange squares. Or gray and yellow squares. We are now on the grade. See if we can get a climbing the grade shot. Alright. There's also, oh, we're speeding a bit. There's also a small grade, or not a small grade, there's a small bridge right here with a gap in the middle because there's a bit of a river. You can see right here. That looks a little bit weird. And I'll say it again, there's still a bit of incomplete scenery which will be completed by the time the route is finished. But we are now making the climb. I need to put some oil in this thing. We're now making the climb up to the logging camp. We are losing boiler pressure. I don't want to put too much oil in there because if I do, it's going to be lifting it to safety. Being at MAWP, maximum allowable working pressure. If you look over there, you can see that's where we're going. The logging camp is over there. I think I did a good job detailing it. The track is floating slightly. It's fine. That will be ironed out. Let's ride the tender again. Something I like with this locomotive above all others, besides everything else I've stated so far, is the dynamic smoke. If you have the Johnson bar all the way in the corner, the smoke lifts up much higher because it's forcing out of the stack much harder. But if you have it nice and light, around 30%, you can see it lowered some. And if I do like this, it lowers even more. No other locomotive in the game that I've seen does that. We need some more coal. We are rapidly losing boiler pressure. Or oil. It says shovel coal, but this is an oil burner. And for the sake of the map, I made it burn coal. So I guess we're injecting coal into it because there's no oil facility, I don't think, even though this burns Bunker C. LSSX Productions, hello. Alright, we are peaking the grade, or reaching the top of the grade, and we are about to head into a tunnel. And this tunnel exits over there, and rather than just look at the boring inside of the tunnel, we're just going to watch it enter, and then we are going to go ahead and go to the other side. Alright. This, once again, is a little bit, incomplete scenery, but right over here it looks pretty good. This route is based in Maine and New Hampshire. It is supposed to be also in the fall season. This route was originally supposed to go from Maine to Florida, being 2,000 miles, which is a lot, that I now realize, but some scaling issues made it so I stopped progress on the route when it's supposed to be 200. Where I thought it was at 200, I was actually at 75, so I'm going to remake this route in Trains 2022, but that'll be once I get a computer. So I'm now showcasing this route to show off it, and I'm going to release it to the public, to you all, and whoever else wants it. I think I can see the train now coming out around the corner. And I made it so the tracks were a little bit into the ground here. Alright, we need to slow down a bit. Application. Thank you. Alright, I think 15 was the speed limit through this. Oh, it was 25. Here we have a sighting because it could get a bit busy through this section, depending on how many trains someone was running. Let's look at this scenery out of the passenger car. Looks just like we're moving through a real forest, except 2006 graphics, or 2009, I don't quite remember when this game was created. Alright, moving through the very close wilderness here. The logging camp is not too far away. I'm gonna not add any more coal because, or oil, technically coal oil, because we're about to stop and I don't want the safety just doing that and being annoying. But as you can see, very, very dense forestry. And I originally had some bushes in here too, but it got really laggy with that. So I just kept the trees, and I still think it looks like you're traveling through a forest. Just lightly going through. It's nice and scenic. We need to get a little bit more water in that boiler though. Safety's lifting again. We're almost at the end of our journey here for this part. I'll pick another day and we'll load these logs and bring them all the way to the west end. And the west end is really pretty. It has a bunch of fall foliage and everything. And I believe there is a locomotive servicing facility, if I remember correctly, up here too. We're about to pass over a small bridge as well. I probably would have used a smaller locomotive if I could find one. Or, I could have found one. I probably would have used a smaller locomotive up here if I had one at the time, but it's fine. Something I think this game needs is a nice medium-sized locomotive. Like, this is kind of a big Mikado. At least in my opinion. Which is a bit unfit for logging, but special occasion. And it's my favorite, so. And here's the bridge right here. We're crossing over. And over there, we'll soon be able to look down into the valley. Alright, we are at maximum water and the safety is calmed down for the time being. Something I kind of wish was that you were able to stream in a slightly higher quality, but it's fine. I was using another app, Streamlabs, and it was decent, but it actually wasn't. I thought it was decent at the time, but it proved problematic and then stopped streaming. There's another track right here for the Y at the logging camp because so you're able to turn around and it's still nice and concealed within the trees. Something I also like is that if you look at the cab figures, with the locomotive. Depending on which way you're going, they will switch direction. We are now entering the logging camp yard limits at the moment. So we are going to switch it to this way and go into there. I think I detailed this part pretty good, too. Just start going nice and slow, get our bell ringing. And over there you can see where you load the logs. But where we're going is the station for over here for like the workers. Also, if I go off to the side, if it loads in, there we go. You can see where the workers live. I like how all of these houses play banjo music. But we are now entering very rural trackage, you can see. So we're just gonna pull into the station, or where are we lying? We're lying that way. We've got a whistle post right here for the crossing. Hello. Alright, we just blew one long and one short because it's just a private crossing, and we are now, the safety is lifting again just when I thought it was fine. Anyway, we are going to pull into the station right here, and then that'll be it for the stream. Right there, you can see the sign that says track ends, and once again, we will continue the stream once on another day because it's getting a bit late. Alright, we are pulling in here. And we are stopped. Alright, so that is from not the middle, but kind of where we started to the east end of the railroad. This is the complete east end. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream there. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you all for joining in today. And I will see you all next time. Bye.